It's Ms. Lintner here, and I am going to show you the 3 watercolor techniques we are going to be using on our next sculpture project. So the first watercolor technique is wet on wet. You start with a piece of paper and a wet brush, and you put water on your paper and get it nice and wet. Then you're going to use a color, and you can do a single color wash. That's where you just do one color across the whole thing, and then come back and add other colors in. Or you can do 2 colors the same to start with, or 3 or 4, however you want. But you're going to add your colors, thinking about color, obviously, and line. So what kind of lines are you creating? And movement too. What sort of movement is happening across the page? If you want a cloud-like formation, or maybe a bush kind of shrub, I should say, then you can pat your color in. If you want something more swept across the page, you can do lines like that. It's up to you. I mean, it's going to depend on what part of your landscape you're going to use, what colors and what shapes that you're going to have. But this is the basic wet on wet, and you can see how the colors pool and how they form. So that's the first one, wet on wet. Our next technique is wet on dry. We take a dry piece of paper and we add our color straight to it. You can see the color on a dry piece of paper is much more concentrated, is much brighter. There's more intensity of color. I can brush another stripe if I want to make, if it's all, I'm doing diagonal lines. You can also see how where I take one color and push it into the other, I'm doing a wet on wet now, and they're going to bleed together. This could be for a mountain, or maybe an ocean. And I can do that combination of wet on dry and wet on top of this if I want. But I don't get the paper wet to begin with.